I want you to be able to understand a little bit about tags on the forum. This at first seems a little daunting because it looks a lot like code, and it is a kind of code. But I want you to understand it because you'll be copying and pasting some of this code into your posts. And if you understand how it works, it will help you to just to know what's going on. So it also gives you the opportunity to create some special kind of effects, special formatting on any text that you happen to be working on. So to understand this, there's a couple things to look at. First is just the text you want to be formatting. For example, let's just say it is you know, the work of Byron Katie, say. Now that's the text there. If I want to make some special formatting for that text, then I can highlight it and I can hit like the B key here will make it bold. Now what actually happened there is that the computer automatically added this little B tag and then this other B tag with a backslash. This first B tag is called an opening tag, and the last one is called a closing tag. It's sort of like putting something in quotation marks, for example. When you put something in the beginning and something at the end, then what's in the middle gets affected. So if I was going to preview this, you can see that here it is. Here's the preview up here. The work of Byron Katie is showing up as bold. Doesn't matter if I have space in there around it, it's still going to show up as bold. But if I remove the front tag, say, just delete it, then if I hit preview again, you'll see that it doesn't show up as bold. It just shows up as regular text, and then there's this little closing tag that's showing up in the final copy. So that means that the code got broken, basically. So the way to fix it is to go back into where you're editing, just click here in the beginning, and you can type in this little square bracket, then the B letter, and then the closing square bracket. And now if I preview it again, it will show up as bold, and that closing tag will not show up. Now let's see what will happen if I take off the closing tag. So I'll delete that, hit preview, and you can see that it's still showing up as bold. But now what happens is, if I keep typing, I'm going to say, let's say, doing the work together. If I keep typing and I hit preview, you can see that the first part, the work of Byron Katie, is bold, and the second part is also bold. Because what happened is we started a tag that makes things bold, but we never stopped the tag. This is like the start tag, and then there's no stop tag, so it just keeps on making everything bold in the whole post. So the way to stop it is to just add a stop tag, which is the square bracket, then backslash, then B, and then square bracket. Now, closing tag or stop tag always has this little backslash. It's the same tag, B for bold, but there's a little backslash right there that means stop bold. And of course, you have to have a square bracket, opening square bracket and closing square bracket to make it into a tag. Like if you forgot the one of those square brackets, then it would not work. Let me go ahead and preview this. So now you can see there's a starting bold tag and an ending bold tag right around the work of Byron Katie, so that gets bolded. And now since there's no bold around the other, then you won't get any bold there. Of course, it's good to understand the actual text here, because sometimes if you're copying and pasting, you may make an error and you're like, what did I do wrong? For example, say I forgot that little bracket there, the ending square bracket. If I hit preview, now it's going to show up. Everything's bold because there's no stop tag. The stop tag is not completed. And it shows up, this just shows up as text. So all I need to do is put in that square bracket, closing square bracket, hit preview, and now it's working again. So this works also for italics. And you can do, notice we're doing this manually, but easily you can do this by just hitting, selecting the text and then hitting bold. So you watch this, hit preview, and now just the work has been bolded. But if I want to delete that, then I have to delete the tag. So I just delete these tags. Now we're back to where we started. Now let's make it italic. So I'm going to put it puts an I there. It's the same structure. It's got that little square brackets, I, and then closing square bracket, then square bracket, backslash, I, closing square bracket. So same thing, hit preview, showing up as italic. Okay, so if I want to get rid of italics, then I delete everything there. And now let's say I want to do, here's our old familiar one, quote. So quote just uses the same square brackets with quote in the middle. There's the closing tag, the closing backslash, and then quote again, square brackets. And if I hit submit or preview, it'll show up in the quote formatting. So like this, you can do all kinds of things. You can change the color. I'm going to delete these tags for quote. Yeah, I skipped underline, but you can do underline. That's going to be a U. So just click. There it is. If I preview, shows up as an underline. Problem with underline is it looks like a link, so I don't use that one very much. But here's one that I do use quite a bit, and that's color. So if I want to make this one blue, then I'm going to select it and then click on this little paintbrush, and I'm going to select this blue color. And if I hit preview, there it is, showing up as a kind of purple blue. Now if I want to get rid of it, okay, so color has an extra thing. It's got color, and then it has equals, and then this, oops, I just messed that up. It equals, and it has a pound sign, and then 0000FF. That is the color name. That tells the computer what color to make. And then the closing tag just has the backslash color. So if you want to get rid of that color, just delete the tags. So the power's in the tags. These little buttons are just shortcuts to make just to put the tags in there for you. If I wanted a different color, if I choose red, for example, notice that it's a different number. Instead of 0000FF, it's FF0000. It's kind of a turnaround. And if I preview it, there it is showing up as red. Here's another one that I use all the time. Let's say I wanted to make a link. So I'm going to make the work into a link. So I don't use underline very much, but I use links a lot. So just click this button, and it makes URL with a square bracket and then backslash URL. So there's an opening tag, closing tag. And then if I want to put the URL in, I just hit equals, and then I paste in the URL. So let's just do theworkasmeditation.com. We can just copy it from right here and paste it in. Now you can see this is the whole tag contains the whole URL there. URL equals, there's the URL, and then there's the work, and then there's the closing tag with the backslash URL. If I hit preview, then there it is. And if I click on that and open in a new tab, let's say, sure enough, it opens up in that link. So that's something useful as well. Images, if you have a picture, for example, let's just leave that there, and let's say we're going to insert a picture. You click this picture item, and it goes IMG for image, and there's a opening tag there and closing tag right next to it. And if the cursor is right in the middle, which is where it starts out to be, you can just grab the URL of the picture. It has to already be up online somewhere. Put that, here's a JPEG that's already up on my website somewhere, and if I hit preview, then there's the picture showing up like that. Okay, so you get the idea. This is how I put things up. Oh, this little S one is also useful, is a strike through. So if I wanted to say together and put a strike through there, it will show up as it's been crossed out, and that may be useful at some point. So I just want you to know about these little tags. They're not as scary as they first seem to be. Just pay attention to these square brackets, and it's always that simple. Just little square brackets with the B in the middle, square brackets with the backslash B in the middle, and as long as there's a start tag and a stop tag, then everything in between will be have that property added to it. Anyway, I just want you to be aware of these and to play with these a little bit, and that will be your assignment today, just to play around and see if you can make some different effects on the forum using these different tags.